Today, I put my sleight of hand to the test once again by changing playing cards into other playing cards. 10 levels of color changes, increasing in difficulty, so much so, I'm not even sure if I can do number 10. Real quick, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Mika. I'm a street performer and magician based in Australia. If you're not new here, welcome back. This space behind me might look slightly unfamiliar. All will be revealed. Stay tuned for the next video. Exciting updates, woo! Back to our regularly scheduled programming. For level 1 of the color changes, we probably have one of the most deceptive and practical moves in all of Magic. It works right under people's noses and is fantastic for both beginners and the more advanced. Now personally, I love the twirl change for a bunch of different use cases in Magic, especially if I have cold hands or there's no moisture in them and I can't do certain other sleights. This one is very easy. You can also add other flourishes to it, such as the shapeshifter, which is a bit of a variation, which makes it a little bit more flourishy, and yeah, they both look fantastic. For level 2, this color change was actually quite popular around the time of the release of Now You See Me. Now, this might be because of Jesse Eisenberg on late night TV for possibly the wrong reasons.
Alright, so I'm going to try to make your card jump to the top of the deck. Okay, which is not true, obviously. Okay, so, whoa, tap, tap. Yeah, and now, okay, so now your card should be on top, right? Yeah, right, okay. So, is this your card? Oh, look at that!
Now, despite its limitations, the snap change can have some fantastic applications. Jack Payton and videos like Snap and Gosh by Heath Cards are two incredible experiments and deep dives into some of the applications behind the snap change and just the very cool things you can do with it. This next change for level number 3 is something that, I'll be honest, I often forget about, but it is actually quite practical and looks very nice on camera and in person. Now, I don't actually know the name of this change, so if you do know it, drop it down in the comment section. That would actually be most helpful. However, there are a few other applications for this change, such as changing one card into a 4 of a kind, for example. So, level 4, the Erdonase change. A change a lot of magicians really like to do. Unfortunately, I don't think that I'm the best at it. And what I mean by that is I think mine is very, very, very mediocre at best. Unfortunately, my hands get really, really dry and unmoist, especially during the cold months. Like now, it is currently winter in Australia, and my hands are not retaining moisture very well. So for me to be able to push cards around actually makes some sleights harder, such as the Erdonase change. At least for me. I know other people struggle with this, and that's why I actually have a bottle of moisturizer right next to me while filming, so I can keep my hands moist to be able to do some of these sleights. Because a lot of magicians do the Erdonase change, there's actually quite a lot of work on the sleight and its variations by magicians like PH on the Roof. So if you're a magician, I highly recommend it. Go check it out. Level 5 of the color changes is a change that I don't use as often as I probably should, but done in the right hands, it looks quite beautiful. Although I suppose any change done in the right hands looks beautiful. Anyway, it looks good. It's a great change. Now this change is the paintbrush change, as denoted by the sweeping motion of the cards to make a card change. You can do it a little bit quicker. I don't know how good I can get this to look. It looks a little bit something like that. I hope, fingers crossed, that looks good on camera. The interesting thing about sleight of hand is doing it to a camera or looking into a mirror when you do it, you actually end up blinking more often than you think, and can actually miss some of the key moments of doing the sleight, which is why filming it, like I'm doing right now, is a perfect way of keeping track of whether you're actually doing the sleight well or not. However, you would actually need to check that footage for that to apply. And I'm just barreling through a bunch of changes right now. Fingers crossed. Level number 6 is the low-key change. That is the name that this change has been given by none other than Jason Ma. Jason actually has a tutorial for this particular color change on his channel, as from my knowledge, it is a creation of his and James, who was Jason's mentor for street performing.
I'm going to be teaching you a move that I've never taught before, and I'm going to affectionately call it the low-key change.
The duck change for level 7, probably my most hated color change on this entire list. The original creator of this trick is Hiro Sakai, and it actually appears in a trick called Deja Vu by Dan and Dave Buck on their Trilogy DVD.
Go ahead and say stop. So card number 1, the 6 of spades. Now it doesn't matter what the card is, but where the card is, in this case between the 2 red aces. And that's all you have to remember, is that sandwich between the 2 red aces is the 6 of spades. I'll leave those on the table. So let's try that again. Just go ahead and say stop. So card number 1, the 6 of spades. Now it doesn't matter what the card is, but where the card is. In this case, sandwiched between the 2 red aces. Card number 1, the 6 of spades. Now if this really did just happen, then that must mean down here, between the 2 black aces, is card number 2, the queen of clubs.
I don't know why it's called the duck change. Can someone please help me? Is it because it goes quack when the change happens? I have no idea. So the reason why this change is so hated by myself is just because of the inconsistency of it that I'm currently finding whilst practicing the change. I've been able to do it for a while, just not be able to get the cards to stick the landing, if that makes any sense. I mean, sorry, cards. What am I talking about? But when you do stick the landing, oh, it looks beautiful. And I know some people do this change consistently. I have seen clips of it, and in certain tricks it just looks fantastic. Now, interestingly enough, level 8 is not technically a color change, or at least the sleight was not originally designed to be a color change. It is actually something called Raise Rise, who I learned from Xavier Spade, and is based off The Ambitious Riser by Ray Cosby. It is a very difficult sleight that took me quite a long time to learn, and I'm very happy with where I am with it in terms of how consistent I am at the sleight. I do perform it live as the Ambitious Riser effect, which I actually have a few videos floating around the internet of, but as a color change, it's not quite as practical because it's a little bit hard to set up into changing to a specific card, but it looks beautiful as a color change. What I mean by all of this is if you were to take a random card, say the Joker, leave it in the center of the pack, you could actually use Raise Rise to quite cleanly change that Joker into another random card. Now the problem becomes when you want to change a random card into a chosen card. Let's say the chosen card is the 5 of diamonds. We take a random card, the 6 of spades, we leave it in the pack once again. Now I can change it into the 5 of diamonds because I'm actually all set up to do that. However, finding a practical way to set that up in front of a spectator, I have not yet been able to do, and I'm still currently working on that. But it does work still as a 2-camera trick. Oh, it's time for a good one. It's level 9, the clip shift. Now, technically, I can't decide whether or not the clip shift is harder or Raise Rise is harder. I've been doing them both for quite a while, and it did take me longer to learn Raise Rise and get consistent at it. So maybe it is harder, but I've put them the other way around on the list just because I know a lot of people struggle with the clip shift. Anyway, enough of that. The clip shift. It is a fantastic utility move by Chad Nelson. It is not only a fantastic looking color change, but it can also be used as an invisible control of a card. If you know Magic, then you know what I'm talking about. Actually incredible move. Looks fantastic, and I don't really have much else to say about it, except use it if you can do it. And if you can't use it because you can't do it, well, learn it and then use it. Ding. Level number 10 is the Dotel change. A very difficult change that I believe is from Joshua J. At least it's featured on his Bluff Past bundle with Vanishing Ink. Anyway, it is a very difficult sleight in my opinion, and that is why it is number 10, something that I do not practice. It is a change that seems to require the stars to align, and by stars I mean playing cards, if that makes any sense. However, it is perfectly doable in my opinion. It is just not something that I have consistently practiced to be able to do 100% of the time. Anyway, I do actually like the change quite a lot. I have posted it on social media before in this color changing video. And that is it for my 10 levels of sleight of hand color change edition. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will see you in the next video where I will explain all of this. So if you've made it this far, drop a watermelon emoji in the comment section because I can't think of anything else and that was the first thing that came to mind. Goodbye.